Do I need to bother filing an N-600? Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States at our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. I was recently approached by a gentleman who became a U.S. citizen along with his spouse. They have a minor child, and the question is, should we spend the money and go ahead and file for an N-600, or can we just get him a U.S. passport? So when someone becomes a U.S. citizen and they have a minor child, that child could very well be a citizen by operation of law. In other words, they will not themselves have to file an N-400 and go through the naturalization process. They are already a U.S. citizen. And the question comes up, well, Jim, can we just sort of scrimp and not go through the expense of an N-600, or should we go ahead and do that while we apply for a U.S. passport? The one thing you need to keep in mind is that passports are issued by the State Department. The State Department issues passports, not USCIS. So you're dealing with two different agencies. Now, when your mom or dad become a citizen, if you're under 18, there's a very good chance, depending on how much time they've spent in the United States, and if you are in the United States as a lawful permanent resident, when they become citizens, you might yourself be a citizen by operation of law. There are factors and calculations that we can do to determine whether or not you are a U.S. citizen. So for this video, we're assuming that you are a U.S. citizen. And the question is, do I need to clean up my record and let USCIS know that I am, in fact, a U.S. citizen? And our strong suggestion is yes, you need to file the N-600. Now, I know that form has gotten more expensive. It's almost tripled in cost over just a few years ago. I'm not sure exactly why USCIS decided to do that. I don't know if they're tired of processing them or if they think it's too much of a hassle, but when your parents become a citizen, it's relatively easy to get the passport. The passport, you just have to show that your parents naturalized, and the State Department actually has been known to give passports from the United States to people who aren't in fact U.S. citizens. So there's a disconnect there, there's a problem there, and how it comes back to you is that if you don't go through the N-600 process, if you don't file the N-600 form and get a certificate of citizenship from USCIS, then forever you are in their system as a lawful permanent resident. This can come back to you in two major ways. One, and the biggest one, is that if you do a crime or committed of a crime, they might try to deport you even though you are a U.S. citizen. So you could be a U.S. citizen by operation of law because your parents naturalized, but they could try to start the deportation process, or they could try to keep you outside the United States if you got into some kind of trouble. The other main reason that we want you to file the N-600, and especially if you think, well, I'm not the kind of person who's ever going to get in any kind of criminal trouble, is it's important to have your record clean. It's important to make it clear that you're a U.S. citizen, and most importantly, if you want to file for a spouse from the home country or in the United States at some future date, if they still have you as a lawful permanent resident and not a citizen, that can come back and make things more complicated. So I know it's a hassle, I know it's expensive, it's well over $1,000 now just for the filing fee to obtain the certificate of citizenship, but we strongly encourage you to go through that process, and then once and for all, you're done with USCIS forever. There's no doubt that you're a U.S. citizen. It's set in stone at that agency, which is the agency that declares whether or not someone's a U.S. citizen. So it is our strong recommendation, having seen many messes created by parents who never got their children their N-600 certificate, that you go ahead and go through that process. If you have questions about this, or if you'd like our help going through the certificate of citizenship process or naturalization itself, feel free to give us a call at 314-961-8200. We've handled tons of these kinds of cases. You can also email us if you're thinking about hiring us at info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. Now, if you are thinking about doing this yourself, or if you're thinking about just looking for more immigration information, you can always join our Facebook group, which is called Immigrant Home. A lot of people surprisingly didn't know about that on the live show the other day, but we have this Facebook group that's 5 or 6 years old. We have about 9,000 members, and you can join for free, and people talk about the immigration process in that Facebook group every day. And then finally, we have our YouTube channel. Obviously, you're probably watching this on YouTube. If you are and you haven't already, you should subscribe to the channel so that whenever we make a new video like this one, you're one of the first ones to find out about it. And don't forget that we go live on our YouTube channel and in that Facebook group several times a week, 3 or 4 times a week, trying to answer as many of your immigration law related questions as possible. Thanks a lot. We hope you found it helpful, and we'll see you next time.